Good evening, everyone. So this is Habib, and it's 2 past 9 o'clock. So around 9 o'clock every day, we try to come on live and try to interact with you. So today we have got a very, very special discussion, and that is how to be rich. And today I'd like to share with you 13 steps how to be rich. So, well. You might think, this is a very strong claim. On the title, how to be rich. Following 13 steps. But what I'm saying is, I'm gonna refer a book, and it sold more than a million copies, 15 million copies, and obviously the evidence they created and they whatever they claim, they are right regarding this. So today I'd like to share with you. How to be rich, and I'd like to take you through the journey. 13 steps. If you follow, obviously and definitely, you're gonna transform your financial condition. So the book I'm gonna refer. It's not my book anyway. So it's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So probably you have heard the name of the big book time and again. And I have heard this book time and again, but I think 2 years back I have started reading that, and I think read twice. And then if you go to the YouTube as well, so you can watch and listen from the writer or author himself, Napoleon Hills. Today we had a guest to come up, and he has got some sort of emergency thing. That's why I said, okay, that's fine. We can bring you a bit later on. Today it should be something so that we can still communicate, and we can give some sort of value, so that once you apply that, you would be raised. So I'd like to give some sort of backgrounds of this book. So I think writing a book is not easy, but it's simple. Because I have written one, I know, what sort of challenges, we have to face for this. However, but the author is a legendary author and legendary books as well. So he has taken a lot of time to write this book. And when he has written this book, this is not the book. This is not something, the topic he has written, theoretically. So this is the 13 philosophies he has enlisted on this book, and he has crafted the whole thing, how you can follow these things. And if you really want to understand how the financial thing is stuff, and how you can accumulate those sort of things. So he used to work as a journalist in different organization, and he used to work in a White House as well once upon a time. He used to work for president as well. So however, he decided that he's gonna write a book. And so excuse me. So he was thinking, he's gonna share a lot of philosophies, financial philosophies. If people follow, they will be rich. And he was looking for some sort of people, whom he can take this strategy, take the secrets of becoming rich, and he can write it on the book. So he was looking for someone else, and during his time, he was a young chap, and what is called his name, the Scottish American richest guy in the world. So Carnegie, he approached him, and finally approached. Finally, the author, he suggested that, if you'd like to write the book regarding the financial philosophy or financial secrets, then you have to work on this book, let's say 5 years for free, entirely free. And it's not easy. To, let's say, right now, in the UK, Richard Branson is the big name. So if you'd like to write a book regarding the Richard Branson, and if you say, whatever the secrets and strategies have you got, how you became from the drop price school boy to today's billionaire Richard Branson, regarding that, I would like to write a book. So the access to those sort of people is really tough, and it's an opportunity to work with them as well. So he started. So one day he approached to the person, I mean Carnegie, and he said, I would like to write down a book regarding the financial philosophy. Would you give me the access to? And he said, well, definitely I'm gonna do that, but you have to work at least 5 years on this book, and I'm not sure, I mean, within this time frame you can finish it or not, but you have to work for free. And Napoleon Hill, he has taken the challenge and he has started working on this. And the interesting thing is, he was blessed to get the access to other people as well, because he was the business leader, the Carnegie, and he was not only the billionaire. He was the leader of the billionaire. So in his mastermind program, there are a lot of research people like what is called Ford. Then that time, other research people, they were in their mastermind group. So they have got I mastermind mean is a group of people when they study together, discuss together to reach some sort of goal, a financial goal. So that was the reason, to build the mastermind. So anyway, I don't like to tell a lot of things about the book, but the book is been sold more than 15 million copies. So the Think and Grow is, you can't take it slightly or lightly. So that's why now I'd like to share with you 13 steps what you need to do to be rich. And if you it's not my word, it's Napoleon Hill's word. So if you miss a piece of puzzle, that means you miss the whole thing. You should start from the beginning. You need to understand and you need to apply it. And he also said that think and grow rich, it doesn't mean that you start thinking and money will start growing like this. So what I mean by that is, here thinks means he means understand, listens, and listens means understand, and understand means applying. And what does he means by this book? So there are 13 steps, 5, 10, 13 steps to become a rich, and I'd like to share it with you right now. So the first step to be rich is desired. So if you'd like to be a rich, you have to have a strong desire. You have to have some sort of ambition that I'd like to do that. So I'm gonna give some sort of example so that you can understand it. So today Elon Musk, he's a very popular and the richest man, one of the richest men in the USA. So when he migrated from South Africa to the USA, so to he has got some sort of degrees like MBA and all that stuff. And so he started thinking, well, I'd like to build up a bank, financial system that's gonna help people a lot. They don't have to come to the bank to do the transaction and all that stuff. And by building that, I'm gonna help a lot of people. I'm gonna add in value in the business, and this is how I'm gonna make money as well. So that he built up the PayPal, and he has got very strong desire. That's why he made it. And the first thing, first step is you need to have a strong desire. So if you haven't got the strong desire to be someone else, something else, or to reach some sort of financial goal, I would say probably you never come up with a lot of money. So that's the first step to have the strong desire. So in my case, I would say when I have finished my education here, I started working in different places. Like I used to have, let's say, 1,000 or 1,200 pounds per month, and that was a lot of money for me, because if I converted this sort of amount of money to Bangladeshi currency, it's a lot of money for my family as well. And I didn't have that much strong desire to earn a lot of money and all that stuff as well. But when I have moved from my working life to entrepreneurial life, and when I was started struggling to have some sort of money, as I didn't have some sort of work permit to work for the business and some sort of thing, so I had to my back was against the wall, so I had to figure out how to make some money. And when I was struggling a lot, so I was following a lot of research people, their philosophy and all that stuff. So I started studying them, and I also started going to different conference seminars and all that stuff. And I met a lot of millionaires and billionaires as well, and when I started learning from them, listening to them, watching them, and understand them, I found that they had strong desire to be rich, and obviously they have got a reason why they would like to be rich, and when they become rich, what they're gonna do. That's the thing you have to have. So second step to be rich is faith, and I'm not sure whether you believe in God or not, and I don't have any sort of what is called debate on that. If you believe in God, I appreciate that. If you don't, I appreciate too as well. It's up to you. But when you'd like to get some sort of things in your life, first of all, you have to believe in yourself. And there are a lot of negative things going on, and the world is always competitive, and it is called the fittest people, they will survive at the end. So before going to the competition, if you lose yourself, if you beat yourself up, then where are you gonna win? That's my question. So you have to, first of all, you have to have some sort of belief in yourself, and the second thing is you have to believe in the team as well, who are working around you. And if they are not ready yet, trained up yet, skilled yet, you need to work on them, you need to lift them up, and you are as strong as your team is for the company. That's the what is called mainstream I have learned from the book The Everything Store from Jeff Bezos. So you have to have a strong faith that, well, I have got this sort of things in my life, and I have got this sort of skills, and by using this sort of skills, I can help this sort of people, and I can add values in their business and personal life, and this is the service I can provide them, and in exchange byproduct is money. So yeah, that's why Napoleon Hill, he said the second step to becoming a rich is faith, and the third step to becoming rich is auto suggestion, and it's a very big thing, and it's a very, I would say, it's not easy term to understand. So here auto suggestion means when you have got a lot of opportunities, a lot of options, so your brain, your guts, that's gonna say something, that's gonna suggest you something to do, something that's gonna better in your ultimate goal. For example, now I'd like to be, let's say, financial freedom. So now during the COVID-19, I have got a lot of options. So I can scroll down the Facebook, and I can watch how many people died today in USA, in UK, and then I can start posting on the social media platform, and then I can also put something the agenda with the family members over the phone as well. So this is the thing I have got on one option. And second option is the business and the organization, they are closing down. So I can, if I haven't got enough skills right now, where I'm working, then I can work on my skill. I can find out where I can have some sort of self-development programs, books and videos and all that stuff, and online workshop. Then I can work on it, and I can develop my skills. And the third thing I can do, what is now, whatever the skills I have got, I can find out so what's the problem right now. What would be the number one problem? The business people, they will be struggling after COVID-19 when lockdown is gone. So you can work on it, and you can then get ready, and when everything is get normal, so you'd be ahead of the game. So now I'm giving you some sort of options, like option one, social media and news. A lot of consuming a lot of bad news. The second option is working on self-development, so that I can sharpen my axe, so that I can cut a lot of trees. When the competition is started, or when I go out to the jungle. What I mean by that is, when everything's become normal. And the third thing is I can work on it. Right now, what sort of struggles business people or people have got, and how can I provide the solution for them, and in exchange I can earn some money. So that's the thing. So it's all about the train up. So if you train up enough in your brain, so your brain your attitude, that's gonna pick up some sort of auto suggestion automatically. So you don't have to force yourself. You will see automatically you're gonna pick up one of the options, either consuming a lot of better stuffs for a long time, and if you have got a screen time, you can see how much time you are spending on mobile phone through the social medias, or you can invest a lot of time, whatever you have got, and you can develop your skills, or you can find out the opportunity to work on it and offer a lot of solution out to the market. So this is the thing you need to train up, and this is called auto suggestion. So the third steps to become a risk is auto suggestion, and I would believe that if you work for a longer period of time, then you will pick it up and you will see the auto suggestion works automatically. And the number fourth step is specialized knowledge. And what I'm saying is not the knowledge you're going to Google and you see some sort of information and you got it and you see that's not specialized knowledge. So no, Napoleon Hill, he didn't mean that. What he mean by the specialized knowledge is experience. So here it doesn't have to be the direct experience. So it might be someone else. For example, so let's say you have got a so let's say you have got a business and you need some sort of, let's say, people who will be helping with your financial stuff, and in that case you don't have that much experience. So here, but you need to solve the problem. You need to forecast your financial year. You need to forecast your expenditure, and you need to forecast what it could be the profit, this sort of thing. So probably you have some sort of lackings. Personally, I would like to acknowledge that I have got this sort of knowledge, lack of knowledge. So in that case, what I can say, I have got two options. I can work on it and I can learn slowly. And the second option is I can hire someone else, or I can request someone else to get the access of this sort of knowledge. And let's say financial advisor or accountant, I could say, well, I don't understand that much this sort of things, financial figure and facts. So can you please help me? And then he started sharing these things. You book a slot with him, and he is sharing his raw skills with you. And this is how you are developing your knowledge, and that's called experience. That's called specialized knowledge. So it's not the thing you got from the book. It's not the things you are getting from the Google. It's not the thing you are taking the course and you are doing this. It's some sort of experience that you share. For now, I'm gonna give another example. If it is difficult to understand what I mean by specialized knowledge. So let's say let's say you are out of the family. You are staying away from the family right now, and what happened is you are not that much good at cooking, and in that case, what you can do, you can learn from the scratch, and you can go develop your skills by doing this time and again. Or the second option is you can go to a chef and you said, you are the Indian chef and I love some sort of Indian food. So is it okay if you give me some sort of trainings, whatever you have a chef, the long 10 years time, and if you give me, let's say, 15 days or 1 month training, especially on these sort of menus, let's say 5, and I will pick up your brain and I'll be doing this sort of things, and you'll monitor me, and this is how you can achieve the specialized knowledge. So is the same thing happen to the financial field as well? As I told you, the Carnegie, so he has got a mastermind group. So people who were so hungry to acquire that sort of financial goal or financial freedom, so he invited and he made a group. It's called Mastermind, and there were, let's say, 10-12 people in the mastermind group, and let's say all of them were millionaire or something else. Probably Napoleon Hill, he was the poorest one, and that's why it's called, you are the average of 5 people you spend most of the time with. So that's the right example. So Napoleon Hill, he was one of them. He spent the time with the millionaire and billionaires, and he became the millionaire as well. So that's he mean by specialized knowledge. So if you'd like to have some sort of a specialized knowledge to acquire the wealth, to be a wealthy person, then you can you can have some sort of access with the people, I mean, who already achieved that. Probably, you need to pay the price, of course, in different ways. So by doing that, you can have the access of a specialized knowledge as well. Number 5 is imagination is the 5th steps to be rich. Now you might ask you, so what do you mean by imagination? And I'd like to share with you a story of Napoleon Hill, what is said by imagination. So imagination is so powerful, and probably you don't have any skills, probably you don't have that much knowledge and all that stuff, but if you can imagine that sort of things, and if you let's say imagine each and every day, and our brain is such a thing, I mean, if you imagine a lot of things and stuff, and if you continue it, if you make it a habit, and the brain once upon a time it picks up something real, and when the brain picks up something real, then it stimulates some sort of what is called things or hormone through your body, and that's gonna help to do some sort of things what really need to be raised to get the financial stuff. So that's the very important thing, the imagination. And Napoleon Hill, he shared one of the story of his personal life, and I was so surprised as he shared that. So he has got a son. He was deaf. I think he couldn't listen the thing. And when his son was growing up, and he went to different doctors and medical center, and doctors said, your son never be good, and he wouldn't be able to listen properly. And so, but Napoleon Hill, he was so adamant. He didn't acknowledge that. He said, I don't accept you. This is your thought. This is your opinion. I don't agree with that. I'll try my best, and I believe that my son will be able to listen. And whatever happened. So Napoleon Hill, he started imagine the thing, and every day before going to the bed, he started telling the story or something, some sort of rhymes in the close to ear of his son, and he started doing for a longer period of time. And what he found is he started believing more, and his son started trying to pay attention, what his father is saying. So that creates some sort of strong desire from his son. And at the long period of time, then what happened is his son started, well, that's not the end of the story. So then when he grew up, he went to the school and to get admission for his son, and the school teachers, they said, you need to send your son to the specialized school. And he said, no, my son is not a specialized person. He right now he can't listen, but he would be able to listen. And you can, by this time probably you need to use some sort of sign language, but I don't like to teach that. I don't like to understand that as well. So he didn't agree with that, and in that case what happened is he started doing that, and after a longer period of time his son started listening, and he said, this is the result of imagination. So if you imagine something for a longer period of time, and if you believe yourself, if you continue doing these sort of things, and imagination starts working. So later that what happened is his son went to the normal school, and he achieved a lot of success in his life by doing that. Excuse me. So that's the important thing to be raised, and that's the 5th step of becoming a rich person. And number 6 is organized planning, and this is so important thing. So if you're in my personal life, I don't know how much I achieved, and whether I don't think so. I achieved so much, but I have just started achieving some sort of things, and I acknowledge that and I appreciate that. And still, I would say I'm not an organized person, but I'm trying to be better each and every day. So let's say the person I was in the last year, I'm trying to become the organized person in this year. Probably in the next year, I would be the better person. And this is very, very important thing, organized planning. So without the plan, you can run around here and there like a headless chicken. And if you basically, if you don't have a strong desire, if you don't have faith yourself, and if you don't have some sort of what is called ritual. For example, physical exercise, reading the books, following the people you want to be, getting the advice from the real experts. And once you do that, and once you have some sort of specialized knowledge, the imagination is working, and then you need to do some sort of things so organized and so that you can achieve whatever you want to do. And the next step is very, very important, and I see a lot of people, they have got so much lacking of this step, and this is the number 7 step to be wealthy or rich, and that is called decision. So if you haven't got the ability to make a lot of decision, that means you are, a few steps away to becoming rich. So what I mean by that is, you will see probably that you have got some sort of, let's say, 5 members in your family, and you will see every person is different. If you share some sort of things, and if you ask them to take the decision, some few members, they will take the decision very quickly. Some people, they are so confused, they will take a lot of time, and the few people, they will say, well, on the basis of right moment, the decision I'm gonna take is this. I'm not sure whether it's right or wrong. And I appreciate that. On the basis of the right information, whatever the access you have got information, then you have to take that decision. And probably, this is the most important thing. A lot of people, probably they will agree or they'll disagree with me. I don't mind. But my point of view is most important to make the decision rather than not making the decision. Let me rephrase again. So let's say if you would like to do a lot of things, achieve a lot of things in your life, and after certain period of time, you said you became hopeless, depressed, and you didn't do anything, and at the end of your life you are saying, I missed this sort of things, and I could achieve these sort of things, and my friends, my close members, they have done these sort of things, and only the reason I didn't achieve that much because I didn't make a lot of decision. And that's the most important thing. You have to make a lot of decision, and a lot of decision that's gonna be wrong, and still you have to make the decision. And once you make the decision, then the next step is, if you make it wrong, you have to figure it how to make it right. And that's the second thing. And the third thing is, when you make the decision and when you try to figure out, do the right things, still if it is failure, the most important thing you are getting is lesson, because failure is the it is called like, this is the step and this is the second step. So if you compare, the failure is the first step, second step is success. So you can't go through without avoiding this sort of thing. So I would say your next step would be the success. So that's why I encourage people to take a lot of decision. And once you make a lot of decision, and by doing that, you are developing your skills to make a lot of decision right. And if you don't make a lot of decision, probably you won't develop this sort of skill. So that's the 7 steps to becoming rich. And the number 8, that's so important. That's called persistence. And I can't agree enough for this step. So I'm gonna give you some sort of example. So, and I'd like to take a quote from Jack Ma. He said, people turn up people open the shop today and they wait for the customer. This shop open second day, they wait for the customer, and third day they close, and they said, we haven't got any customers, and that's why we're closed. And in the evening the customer comes to for the shopping, and when they come, they see there is no shop. So we are so unfortunate that we haven't got that much patience, and that's why persistence would be so important in business or to achieve your financial goal. If you haven't got some sort of persistence, then I would say you will be loser, you will be failure, you will give up very soon. So now I'm gonna share some sort of things from my life as well. And before that, I'd like to give another example. So the light bulb. So probably Edison. So he said probably when he discovered those things, that was the probably more than 1,000 attempts he started doing that, and after more than 10,000 attempts, then he invented the light bulb. And that's why you see me, you got the enough light at the dark as well. So he today we know him because he was so persistent and he was not willing to give up until he get his result. So this is very important. And now I'd like to share one of my experience through my life as well. So when we have started student consultancy, I got a small office on the top of a restaurant. It's called Ponchokhana at Whitechapel. So first month I invited my friends to have a tea coffee because I didn't have that much money to offer them tea and coffee, buying from the shop. So I had a small kettle and I take the water and make tea and coffee for them, and this is how I started doing that. Then second month we have got a few clients, third month we have got a few more clients, fourth month, this is how it's going on. And no, I think from the very beginning of 3 months we didn't have any clients or customers in our office. So still I started doing that, and at the end of let's say 3-4 months I have started getting some clients, and 6 months I have getting more clients, and after 1 year we started booming. So this is how persistence is so important. If you have got skills, or if you don't have skills, you have got a strong desire to acquire that sort of skills, and if you have got a passion about that well, I don't mind, I'm not getting the customers right now, but I have got faith, I believe in myself that I have got this skill, I can create this sort of value for this customer, and when they struggle, if I give them the solution, they will be happy, and that's gonna make a lot of money for them, and in exchange I'm gonna make some money as well. So this is how is very important, persistence. So don't give up, make the decision, work on it. If it is wrong, work on it, try to develop it. If it still doesn't work, move on to the next one. Don't give up, keep doing it. That's the ultimate thing what Napoleon Hill he suggested. And the next thing is power of mastermind. Excuse me. So here power of mastermind is very, very important, as I shared with you by this time already, that if you don't have the 5 people around you, they are like-minded, they probably have got some sort of similar goals, and if you don't find those sort of people, if you don't connect with them, if you don't hang around with them, and when the struggle is coming, when you are going through the tough time, you most likely you're gonna give up. And when you have got the this sort of people, like-minded people, the similar goal they'd like to achieve. So when you have going through the tough time, if you pick up the phone and give him a call that, look, I'm facing these sort of problems, and this is the scenario of my business, and though you're working in another industry, can you please help me or suggest me what should I do? And according to his business and his prospects, he's gonna give you some sort of at least vibes, suggestions, recommendation, and once you try 1, 2, 3, probably you'll see the solution. And this is the most important thing. You can try. So let's say the incident happened to you and you can't make the decision, and you are struggling a lot to make the right decision, but probably before, but you can't remember. The same thing happened to your friend, and your friend came to you for the decision, or for helping to make the decision, and you told them, well, you have got this sort of problem, so what if you can do this sort of thing. So when you think the things for someone else, you find out the unbiased solution for them. And this is the important thing I have learned from my mentors as well. So when something happened to your life, and if you can't make the decision, so put the incident to someone else and then think about his situation and then make the decision. It's going to help you to make the decision, because if something happened to you, your business or personal life, something emotion is connected. So when you take the decision, that's going to be biased, and that's not going to be the right decision. So I think regarding this case, power of mastermind is so obvious, you can't ignore it, and you have to have some sort of thing of mastermind in your life. And the next thing is next step, number 10, is mystery of sex transmission, and this is so important, and I don't like to go through in depth a lot, but what I think is Can you remember in your childhood you have started watching some sort of movies and you see the hero, he is doing a lot of things to get the heroine to get married or to get the love or affection, some sort of things, and you see, I mean, the only thing he does a lot of things, and what he does is he always tries to, you know, convert his sexual emotion to the life, and this is how he achieves so much. So though that's the movie, that's some sort of a story, but you know, the story is the part of our life. The story has taken from someone else. So you know, in reality is the same thing happen. So when you can try you can, I mean, convert your emotion of sex into your working environment, working field, you will see, you will get a lot of vibes, a lot of energy to do that, and this is how you can achieve your goal. And in that case, I would say there are a lot of positive and negative emotions, and I would like to share a few of them from the book. Probably you'd understand. So, and I always recommend that always try to get some sort of positive emotion, and when you see the negative emotion, try to skip from them. So number 1 is the emotion of desire, number 2 is the emotion of faith, number 3 is emotion of love, number 4 is emotion of sex, number 5 is emotion of enthusiasm, number 6 is emotion of romance, number 7 is emotion of hope. So these are the 7 major positive emotions. So try to have it always, all the time in your life, and once you have got this sort of positive vibes and emotion, then you know you have got a lot of energy to work. Even when you are going through the tough time, it can't stop you. You will get a go. There are 5 major, there are 7 negative emotions as well. I mean, we are dealing with, and you have to identify what are the negative emotions, and it's gonna help a lot. I mean, if you can identify, and once you have that, try to, I mean, release them. It's like brake pedal, release them as soon as you can, and that's gonna help you a lot to achieve your goal. So number 1 is emotion of fear, number 2 is emotion of jealousy, number 3 is emotion of hatred, number 4 is emotion of revenge, number 5 is emotion of greed, number 6 is emotion of superstition, number 7 is emotion of anger. So if you have got this sort of emotion, these are all are the negative emotions, and you know, when you have got the negative emotions, that's gonna put you a lot of trouble, and you can achieve, you can go through, I mean, whatever you like to achieve. So that's why whenever you identify one of them, try to release it, I mean, the way you can. And the most important thing is, you know, the positive and negative emotion, it doesn't go together. So if you have got some sort of negative emotions, that means you have to understand, you have to agree that you don't have the positive emotion with you. That's why the negative emotion lies into you. So that's why once you find out the positive emotion, appreciate it, try to get something more. Once you have got some sort of negative emotion, try to release them and try to put back on the positive emotion. And this is the so important to be wealthy person. And this is the what is called step number 10 to be raised. And number 11 is subconscious mind, and this is so important. Sometimes, you know, we make a lot of decisions. Now I'd like to give you some sort of examples. So let's say I'm gonna ask you a question. So when is the last time you have bought some sort of, you know, clothes? For example, it might be trousers, it might be shirts, or it might be some sort of fancy stuff. And once you I mean do that, then you didn't figure out, I mean, why I have bought this, right? But you know, the decision that was made by your subconscious mind, and that might be a lot of reasons, or why I didn't buy this sort of things I was supposed to buy. That might be the decision that was made by your subconscious mind. What I mean by that is, so let's say you have been to a restaurant, and this is so expensive menu, but you have got a lot of money right this time, and still, I mean, once you have started going through the menu and you said no, I'm not gonna go through this, I'm not gonna have this restaurant. So you made the decision not to have the food from this, probably your subconscious mind that moved you to not to have the such a delicious food in the expensive restaurant, though money is not a problem for you. Probably you have got some sort of memory in your childhood life. Probably you have been to the restaurant with your family members and all that stuff, and you have seen your parents, they have gone through the the cheapest menu in the world. And well, I appreciate that. I mean, still they have taken to the restaurant, but they couldn't afford the expensive food. That's why they have taken to the reasonable price restaurant. So that could be your subconscious mind that's pushing you to make the decision. And the second thing I would say, you will see there are a lot of people. I mean, probably they have got some sort of financial struggles. Still, I mean, probably all of a sudden, I mean, they make some sort of decision for the buying and the expensive stuff, because this is called their subconscious mind. They said, well, this sort of things, you used to do this stuff, so you have bought it, and after buying this you said, I shouldn't make the decision to, I mean, pay a lot of money on this system. So this is the important thing. So the subconscious mind is very, very important. And the subconscious mind, it build up depending on a few things, few facts as well. Number one, I would say, let's say, whatever you're consuming. Number two, how you train up your brain or mindset. Number three is your background. So these sort of things depending on subconscious mind when you are making the decision. So be careful when you are making that decision in your conscious mind. We are making a lot of the decision in conscious mind, but the best thing is still, according to the survey, it says when you make the decision according to your subconscious mind, naturally it gets good results. And the 12th step of becoming the rich is the brain. So there are a lot of things is going on in our mind right now, and let's say due to COVID-19, we don't know what's going to happen next. If you're working, or if you have got some sort of business, or if you are self-employed, so a lot of things going on in our brain. So it has to be so trained up. So once you have got your brain trained up, then you can make the decision instantly, and you can work on it, and you can develop it. And the last step I'd like to share with you, this is called sixth sense. So I'm not sure what Napoleon Hill mean by sixth sense. So we have got a lot of senses, like smell, what is called eating, drinking, some taste, then listening, watching, this sort of sense. So this is I would say another level of train up your mindset, and this is called sixth sense. And well, I don't like to go in depth, but what I'm saying is sometimes we say, intuition, my gut says this, that's why I have done this. That is how a lot of business people, business leaders, especially millionaires and billionaires, they make some sort of decision according to their guts, their intuition, and that's called sixth sense. For example, sometimes they are thinking, well, I don't have enough data or information to make this decision, whether it could be right or wrong, but the way I know, I train up my mindset, I have got a strong desire, I know I have got some sort of positive imagination, whatever I do, I have got some sort of skills like persistence, this and that. So I can't make the wrong decision, as my gut says, and as I am so much passionate about these things, I think this is gonna be a very positive and good decision for me. That's why I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy these things, or I'm gonna invest this amount of money. So this thing happened in our life a long time, but we didn't go through this. But Napoleon Hill, what he said, as I told, he did some sort of research on this 13 philosophy of becoming rich, and he did very well. I would recommend you, if you haven't got the book yet, you can order one copy from Amazon, or if you go to the YouTube and if you type Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and you will see the smart guy. He's teaching you he's gonna teach you, I mean, the 13 principles, philosophies of becoming rich. And I would appreciate that, I mean, if you have enjoyed this video. And I would like to give you some sort of announcement. And next, I mean, tomorrow we're gonna bring one of our guests, and is gonna be the prominent student consultant, and she's gonna share a lot of things from her journey till today, and she's gonna give a lot of values, I mean, what she's doing and what she loves about that, what she's passionate about that, and how she's helping, and how is she's happy as well. So don't miss that. Hopefully talk to you tomorrow. So before ending this, I would like to summarize that today I have shared with you 13 steps to becoming rich. Number 1 is desire, number 2 is faith, number 3 is auto suggestion, number 4 is specialized knowledge, number 5 is imagination, number 6 is organized planning, number 7 is decision, number 8 is persistence, number 9 is power of mastermind, number 10 is the mystery of sex transmission, number 11 is subconscious mind, number 12 is the brain, number 13 is the sixth sense. So once you master the whole 13 principles or philosophies of becoming rich, you will see the things started happening, and you will sense it, you will get it, and you will see, well, I need to master it time and again. I would like to share you something that when I have started reading this book, I didn't love it. I said, the things, all that stuff is some sort of what is called jargon and all that stuff. But when I started reading second time, I did understand more than 70%. Then when I started watching his video, I did understand more. So I would recommend you, please keep reading this book, keep watching his video, and try to take some sort of notes and apply in your life, and you will see something's gonna happen in your financial sector. And this is how you can become rich. So I wish you safe and a blessed day. Hopefully everything is normal, and we're gonna talk to you tomorrow at 9 o'clock with one of our prominent student consultant. Thank you. Bye bye.